This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I really appreciate you joining me today, and these are some updates coming from London. This first story broke on Tuesday night on July the 30th. A bus driver who was making his way home was stabbed to death while waiting at a bus stop near the garage that he worked at. This was in North East London, and some of the drivers have spoken to the press today and said they are concerned to go to work and also concerned for their safety. The man who was stabbed has been named as Derek Thomas, 52 years old, and also described as a true gentleman who was killed on Northwold Road in Stoke Newington on Tuesday evening. Mr. Thomas is said to have drove the 106 bus, and it's thought that he actually finished work at the time and he was waiting at the bus stop to go home when he was stabbed. Nobody has been arrested at the moment, and the police are currently searching for a suspect. The managing director at Go Ahead London Buses said, "I'm very sad to advise you that one of our colleagues, driver Derek Thomas from Northumberland Park Garage, was fatally stabbed in an isolated incident in Stoke Newington in London. They sent their thoughts to the family and friends and will provide them with any support they need during this difficult time." Thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the scene that shows a large police cordon in place and several buses inside this cordon. Detective Chief Superintendent James Conway for the Hackney Police and Tower Hamlets said, "I understand the shock and concern this incident will cause, and even more so with the recent events in the borough following the murder of Pharrell Garcia. However, I want to reassure people that experienced detectives are working on this case and would diligently work to identify whoever is responsible for this violent act." So this story is devastating news and also terrifying for people to think this may be connected to an incident that had occurred at work earlier, or maybe just some random incident in the street, somebody who's not very well and they've interacted with him. But at the same time, we don't know the details so far, but we'll definitely keep you updated, and I want to send my condolences to the family and friends of Derek. In some other news from last night in Whitehall, protests took place. This is following on from the murder of 3 girls in Southport, where large groups took to the streets to protest, and police officers were attacked and subjected to abuse and also violent disorder. A number of conditions were put in place, the police said in a statement, using the Public Order Act, and it included the location of the protest and also the time it shall finish. It became very clear early on in the evening, the police said, that many of those protesting had no intention of acting peacefully or cooperating with the police. Bottles, flares and other objects were thrown at police, and 5 officers were injured. One of the colleagues was punched in the chest, one was elbowed in the head, another was kicked in the back, and another one injured their wrist. 111 arrests were made, and the offences included violent disorder, assaults on police officers, possession of knives and offensive weapons, and also breach of the peace. A dedicated team of officers are working to bring charges against those responsible. Assistant Commissioner Matt Twist said, "Last night our officers faced unacceptable scenes of disorder and violence as other people across the country have done in recent days. The police acted with great courage," he said, "and the highest levels of professionalism were used against hateful behaviour." And these scenes have been repeated across the country in different places like Hartlepool, where people are very angry and trying to get out on the streets to express their frustration at the murder of these children. But at the same time, destruction of your own neighbourhoods and local areas will not help anybody in this situation, and the parents of the victims have also asked people for calm. In this next story from this week in Crystal Palace, video footage sent by a viewer shows the moment that a suspected stolen car crashes into another vehicle, and many would think this would be the end of the situation, but this is just the beginning. After further documentation of the incident, the man that was inside the stolen vehicle then gets out of the car, and an old woman had left her vehicle to see what had occurred in relation to the crash. He then used this opportunity to get into her car and drive off with it.
Oh my days, akhi.
I've yet to find any documentation of if this man was arrested and charged in relation to this incident, and thankfully the old woman was okay as well. But at the same time, it just goes to show to make sure you're very careful when you're out and about, and make sure you don't leave your car unsupervised for any reason whatsoever, because being nosy can sometimes result in very bad things occurring. So really appreciate you joining me for these updates. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Don't forget to follow, like, comment, share and subscribe, and social media as well at Scarcity Studios. Peace.